Hi, and welcome to the Teamcpnz Quick Connect podcast, where you can stay informed, keep connected, and learn from each other along the way. I'm your team captain, Richard Greer, and on today's podcast, we're going to catch up with Charli Watts, Teamcpnz athlete and an ultra endurance runner. Charli recently took on the New Zealand's longest ultramarathon, the Great Naseby Water Race, 200 miler. 200 miler. Let's talk about that in kilometers. That's like 322 Ks, 32 laps, 10K laps. And her performance was nothing short of absolutely epic. So a couple of stats from that. A new women's under 30 course record, 57 hours and 54 minutes of absolute pure grit. First woman under 30, second female overall, sixth across all competitors. So we're going to deep dive into a journey, the highs and lows. I'm sure there's some highs and no doubt a few lows that went with it as well, and what it takes to push beyond the limits that most of us can barely even imagine. It's a long way to drive, but never mind to run. So looking forward to that. But before we get to Charli, a couple of quick things. So our spring challenge is not the spring challenge, but our challenge for spring is up and running for September. So we've done the May meters challenge, we've done the Tour de France challenge throughout July, and then we're coming on with September is all about sessions, where the May meters was all about vertical meters you could climb, distance and elevation for July, but this is all about sessions and how many sessions can you do across the course of the month of September. So, and that's really good and important, I think, for those living in the Southern Hemisphere, thinking of spring, thinking about getting ourselves set up. That's about doing a strength session. That's about doing push and go on your watch for a mobility session. That's about commuting to work, and that's another bike ride that you're doing. For those multi-sporters or triathletes out there, let's do multiple disciplines. Get the paddle start going as well and getting underway. So all you need to do is join our Teamcpnz Strava Club, and then we just click the leaderboard and we'll see how many sessions you've done. So if you're listening to this, make sure that you get yourself onto our Strava Club, and we're looking forward to seeing how the month unfolds for everybody. So let's get amongst it. Nice one. So let's move on and have a chat to Charli. Charli, welcome on board to our Quick Connect podcast number 44 and about our number 195th-ish podcast that we've done. How are you getting on, Charli?
Yeah, thank you for having me. Yeah, I'm recovering well as can be.
Yep. That's good. Can we just actually push the chair back and let you? Could you do a squat? Could you stand up and sit down, or is it going to take?
It's gonna hurt too much. I've just started walking again, so baby steps.
Baby steps. Okay. Probably a bit early in the podcast to ask you to do that, but you've done very well.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your background for a start. Like 200 miles. What's the thinking behind that in terms of taking this on board? Have you done 100 miler before? Have you done what have you done in the past? Some adventure racing?
Yeah, I started with adventure racing. I started with friends from high school. It was actually my final year of high school, and I've heard the story quite a few, and where people need someone to jump into the team on a weekend. I'm like, yep, I'm free. Yeah. And I kind of just realized I didn't like the biking, to be honest, and loved the running, and it just kind of went from there. And yeah, this year I did my first 100 miler.
Cool.
Yeah, which was pretty. Yeah, it was at Northburn, so that was wicked. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's not your average 100 miler as well. There's lots and lots of elevation in that one as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it is dubbed New Zealand's toughest for a reason. It was pretty brutal, but I mean, it was just eye-opening. It was awesome. Yeah.
And how, cut-offs are an issue there, just getting through it and actually finishing it. How did you go in that one?
Yeah, I was super fortunate to tag along with two other competitors, Ben and Shannon, and we just kind of pushed through together. And having that community, having each other, you just really, you move a lot faster, you move a lot better. And yeah, cut-offs were no worries for that one, but yeah, just awesome community.
Yeah, nice. So that's March, isn't it?
Yeah, that was in March. Yeah.
And then when did you decide that, okay, that's 100 miles ticked off, one of the hardest ones ever, let's go to try and take the next step for 100 miles to 200 miles, doubling that?
Yeah, so it was actually Shannon in Northburn. He said, if you can do Northburn, you can do Naseby. And I just kind of thought we were only 100 k's into Northburn, and he's saying this, and I'm like, oh
Gosh. Yeah.
like, yeah, why not? And then a few weeks later, there we go. Entries in.
Yeah. Okay. So got a bit of enthusiasm. So as you were running around Northburn, that idea was hatched at 60 miles in. Phase in, so we're just flipping between the two. But you didn't think this is hard, that would be a very bad idea. Like you were like, actually, this is kind of cool. Like as you say, the community's good. I'm ticking along. This is all right. My body's holding up here. I could probably go for longer.
Yeah, that's definitely it. I think I was at about 60 miles, and I was going, oh no, this is going to be my distance. Like I'm actually enjoying this, and it was raining, it was windy, it was so horrible. Like it was so horrible. You just had to do heaps of climbs, and I was like, wow, I'm actually enjoying it. And it was just, it's like, what's going on?
Nice work. So in the lead up to this event, we talked a bit about, I guess, getting your mental game right and making sure that you're doing it for the right reasons, etc. And one of the key things around that is why, making sure your why is strong and you're doing it for the right reason. So what was your why? Why did you want to tackle 200 miles?
I think my why comes from that need to do difficult things. I think I get a lot of, I think that's what drives me. Like when you're doing difficult things, it's so much more than running. Like running is just kind of the outlet. It's just, you're training your mind more than anything. Like people say, oh, you're a runner. And I'm like, am I? Like I never see myself as that, because for me, the why is strengthening your mental capacity, and because that goes into your everyday life. So for me, it's not about running, but it's about where it takes you and what sort of difficult positions you can be in and survive and thrive.
Yes. And taking that into your daily life now. For
sure. Now, there's a lot of talk on when you're racing, and it's like, oh, if we can do this, you can do anything. And I think that's just not related to distances. That's related to everyday things.
Yeah.
You've got a whole bunch of assignments at uni, and it's like, well, you know what? We can do difficult things. Like we can do this. We can get it done. Yeah, and I think that's just incredible to have.
Yeah, it's not pretty at times. It's a bit ugly. We've got to get up in the morning. We've got to put our shoes on. We've got to get out the door. We've got to fire up a computer, all that sort of stuff. Like sometimes it's easier just to kind of put one foot in front of the other. But as you say, like it's doing stuff you don't really want to do. And I'm sure there was moments in your 200 miler that you didn't really want to be there. Would that be fair?
That is so fair. I think I've been told before that, if you're crying and you're still moving, that's fine. Just keep moving, like it's okay.
Yeah.
And that's just key. And I think there were ugly times, and when it is ugly times, you just got to remind yourself, well, am I still moving forward? Well, that's just one step closer to that finish line, and you'll get there if you keep moving. So that definitely helped.
So were there tears whilst running on this one?
Yeah, not many. But there were some lonely points just when the course got a bit spread out. But you snap out of it. You ride the waves, you ride the highs and the lows, and it's okay.
Do you feel better after a cry? Like normally you do, but what does it feel like when you're running, like in the middle of the day by yourself and you're having a cry? Does it feel better after that, or?
Yeah, it feels a lot better. So like you let it out, you're still moving, and then maybe you have a good song playing. It's like, it's okay now.
Well, there we go. There's a tip for a start. It's all right. Like, but if you're crying on a rock, sitting down, feeling sorry yourself, that's not all right.
That's not okay. But you're gonna keep moving, and then you'll be all right.
Do you do a lot of things in your life, like on the move now, like having tea and eating and
yeah, everything's a lot better.
Yeah, just do it on the move. I haven't got time for this. I'll do it at the same time. I like it. How long did it take, Charli? How long were you out there for?
So the total time was 57 hours 54 minutes, and so people go to your sleep, and you do sleep. But I only had about 40 minutes total of sleep.
40 minutes.
40 minutes. Yeah.
Whoa. So tell me about that sleep strategy, and then how you went about it, and tell us about that.
Yeah. So I think I knew I was going to be 2 nights. So I wanted to, preserve yourself. So on the first night, I wanted to have a little nap. And I think the key was doing it in the early hours of the morning, just when everything sucks at that time.
The witching hour.
So pretty horrible time of day. But having that 20-minute nap, and it doesn't sound like much, but you wake up and it's like, we're back. Okay. We're back again.
Sometimes you can feel really groggy after a sleep. Like, did you feel groggy or?
Yeah, there was one time I tried to have another nap and I just couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
And so we set the timer, 10-minute break, and I just felt groggy. It just didn't feel nice. But then back over to that second night, I was able to have a 20-minute nap in the morning, and it was just, I think that 20-minute, 30-minute kind of nap time was actually really good, like a power nap.
Yeah. So to do that, I mean, there's one thing about taking a 20-minute nap, but it takes you a bit to kind of chill out a little bit to actually get to lying down as well. When did you start the stopwatch for your 20 minutes? Was that when you're lying down sort of in your sleeping bag for a moment and then the support crew start the stopwatch, or how did that work?
Yeah, my dad was in control of the stopwatch. So he was right onto it. So as soon as I came into the aid station, he was like, right, you're on. Like, this is the time. Yeah. And it was from the moment I entered that aid station, we kind of did about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So then I'd have 5 minutes either side of that nap.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So it wasn't much more like, as far as an actual power nap, maybe you're unconscious for 10 minutes, maybe something like that.
Yeah. 10, 15. But that kind of lying down for the full 20, like, just does wonders. It's like, wow, this is great. I'm not moving.
Yeah, good. And put your feet up, because that's part of this as well, like being standing on your feet for so long that you get a bit swollen, because that's part of our body's reset, isn't it? The lymphatic drainage and things like that, and getting your feet up. How did that go?
That was key. That was super key. I think every time I'd stop for like a main meal or something, I think we talked about it was just get your feet up, because the swelling just it builds up, and then so one of those, the zero gravity chairs, the kind of like camp chairs, was awesome. Yes. Oh, it was so good to sit in,
rocking back in your lazy boy with your feet up. Yeah, good stuff. That's awesome. So tell us about your support. What support did you have to help get through this, because this is not a solo adventure?
No, it's not a solo adventure. I had my mum and my dad and my friend Lottie. And they were just superheroes, like, because the format of Naseby is a figure eight. So if you imagine in the middle of a figure eight, you've got your base.
Yeah.
And so every 5Ks, I'd see them. Mm-hmm. And they were just awesome problem solvers. So I could come to them like, look, like, I just am not feeling well, like maybe I'm nauseous, or maybe I'm just not eating enough, or they'll be able to keep on track of what I'm drinking. I've never been so hydrated in a race, or ever. Like, it was crazy. I was like, this is unreal.
Well, sometimes you can overhydrate, or I have to go to the toilet every 10 minutes. Like, was that?
Oh yeah.
Like, that wasn't too bad.
No, I'd hate to know how long I spent. It was just so much water. But it was crazy to be hydrated. It was awesome. Yeah, but they were able to keep on top of it, and in a race, you kind of forget about it. You kind of forget how long time has been since you last ate or last drank. And they were really onto it and helping a lot in that way. And I think that just keeps me fresher for as long as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice. Yeah. So we've got a figure eight lap. We've got 5Ks one way and 5Ks the other way. Tell us about the conditions. We're in Naseby in the middle of winter. Like, that's frosty, that's cold, that's snowy. That's where they've got the ice skating rink. And there's a reason why that's for being Naseby. So tell us about the conditions that you were facing.
Yeah, well, it didn't look too good. We arrived on the Tuesday, and there was just a severe frost. I'm thinking, oh no, here come the next 3 days. But it wasn't too bad. We got pretty lucky. It was still cold, still very cold. I've never run in a puffer, but I was running in a puffer.
Yeah, and I'm not using any puffer.
Yeah, it was pretty cold, but there was only one, I think maybe for a couple hours it rained. It did get windy. Yeah. But and I remember one of the other competitors, he you kind of in and out with paces and stuff like that. And I remember him going, he's like, we need more wind. Give us more wind. We can take it. And I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah, not only fun. But you're also in the trees, aren't you, around the Naseby Forest too? So that helps the wind. But there'll be some exposed sections of the track as well that you're sort of up a bit higher and the wind rockets down from the hills above.
Yeah, I'd say the first loop that you do was a lot more exposed.
Mm-hmm.
And very quickly you work out what's your favorite loop. And that first loop wasn't mine. And unfortunately that's where I got caught out of the rain. But it you got that second loop to take some layers off and then not have to battle that wind. And a lot of people are like, oh, do you get bored on that figure 8 loop? But actually, there's a lot of variety. Like, I didn't get bored at all. Like, 32 times you would have thought, but no, it was just awesome. Like, such a cool forest.
Yeah, good. So, 32 laps. That's awesome, isn't it? Had you done Naseby before, or had you even been to Naseby? Because it's a bit off the beaten track, isn't it? There's no through traffic that goes through Naseby. You're going to Naseby, or you're going somewhere else.
Yeah, no, I'd never been and never done the race, but oh my goodness, I would recommend. Like, it was such a cool place. Everyone is so lovely. It was awesome.
Yeah, good stuff. Nice work. And tell us about your training. What were some key sessions you did, and how did they help you for the event? And actually, I need to say, as we record this podcast, part of the reason for talking to Charli today was we haven't had a debrief catch up. This is our debrief catch up at the moment, so I don't know any of this stuff. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so I think when you and I kind of planned out, I think I gave you 2 months. I think I called you and I was like, hey, there was not much time. No. But I really loved what we did. We had, I think, 2 key sessions, and it was back-to-back days of, I think we did one session was like a 20K, then the next day was a 70K, and the next day was a 40K or something like that. And then a couple of weeks later, it was 2 50Ks back-to-back. And that carried a lot of weight for me, because I knew if I could smash those days out, like getting up again in the morning and doing something big like that, that gives you a lot of self-confidence. But in saying that, so were, I think, the smaller trainings that we kind of had put in as almost as much weight as those bigger ones. So, there'd be a 10K sort of on or a 45-minute run on the cards, and it's raining, it's windy outside, and it's like, well, if you can do that, if you can get up, I'm telling myself, if I can get up and do it in the rain and the wind, like, that's going to be as beneficial as these longer runs. I think all those smaller ones carry a lot of weight.
Yes, yeah, good stuff. So that consistency you did really well. And one of the other things around any event is actually just making it to the start line in one piece and not breaking you. So for a start, we only had a short run up to this, but obviously you're in good shape anyway with some strength training, and your body's in pretty good shape to be able to tackle those big distances.
Yeah, I think having that balance of strength training and the longer runs was really key. I think we talked about calf strength and making sure I was doing that at my gym sessions, and that definitely helped, because your calves just get so hammered. But I think, like, after coming back from a run, you realize that actually a lot is held in your shoulders and your back and your arms, and strength training is such a key part of my lead up and of my planning. Really key.
Yeah, good, just to hold yourself together. So one of the other key things that were in terms of planning for your event is to how, knowing that you're going to have some dark moments, how we got through those dark moments. We talked about, and you've already mentioned about your music. We talked about crying through the dark moments, and maybe that's a strategy, I'm not sure. Food, different food options, your support crew. Maybe even dressing up was another thing we talked about as well, and bringing you some different vibes. What strategies did you use to help you get through those sort of dark moments that got a bit ugly?
Well, I went into it and I knew what I did was that every 50Ks I'd have like a cream donut. And I just have, a cream donut, or like one of the ones that's pink and have sprinkles.
Okay, yeah.
Just like, what, if I can get to 50Ks, I get that donut. And it was just, I was like, that's awesome. So in low points, I just really want that donut. And it's like, you just got to keep going because it's calling.
That's good. I feel like for me, I'd probably make that donut every 25 Ks or something like that. Like I feel like 20, 50, I could do more donuts. Donuts would go down well. So donuts with the motivation. I like it.
Yeah, it was a pretty good motivation. But I also think like at these miler events, you get that cool buckle, and a bit obsessed with that buckle. So you got to be a bit obsessed, and you just got to want it. You got to really,
The other thing you talked about was actually if I'm that deep into it, I don't want to have to come back to do it again. I want to make sure I get this done as well. Like let's just tick this box.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, I love Naseby. I do love it. But there is a part of it when you're at, I don't know, 240, 260 Ks in, and you're just like, I just don't want to see the circuit again. I love it. And I'll probably be back. I definitely will be back. But you don't know what's going to happen. You just want to do it once, do it well, get it done, full send, like all your eggs are in the basket.
Because at 240 Ks, you're very deep. You're a long, long way in, but you've still got a long way to go as well. Like it's 2 marathons left as well. That's a lot in a normal day.
Yeah, no, that's something I did struggle with. It was like at halfway, and I was just going, oh my goodness, I have so far to go. Yeah. And it was, even at 260 Ks, and I'm just going, wow, like it's just so hard to kind of think about, but you've got to kind of push it to the back of your mind. But while I'm here, and it's if I can keep moving forward, I'll get there. And then you soon enough, the Ks are ticking by. You just small goals, like you'll do a lap at a time.
Yeah.
The aid station became key. I'd see them again, and we'd talk about what we need to do for the next lap, and small goals, ticking off small achievements, and that just makes the bigger picture, the 322 Ks a lot more manageable. We talked about doing it in bite-sized chunks, so you got the figure 8 lap, and then you'd halve it, sort of thing, which was really helpful.
Yeah. Did you ever think I'm done? Did you ever think I've had enough of this at all?
No, I didn't actually. I think, I guess it's part of my why is, you're not looking for that pain cave, but I'm really trying to celebrate when I hit it, because that's why you're there. That's why you want to push through. You want to see what you can do, because that's not going to break you. You're going to get over it, and you're going to get it done. Which was pretty key, I'd say. Yeah. How did you look after your feet? Because that's part of it as well. We talked about sitting down and you put your feet up to keep some swelling down. It's more than that. What did you do across the 2.5 days you were out there? Yeah, I was a bit of a rookie, I must say. I only brought 2 pairs of shoes, which I later found out most people bring about 6. Okay. So I was having issues with blisters, and like quite bad blisters. I think I counted like 12 to 14, which were pretty gnarly. And at about 220 Ks, I was complaining to the guy I was running with, Jack, and I was like, man, like, do you have blisters? Like, what is this? And he's going, well, how many pairs do you have? And I'm thinking socks. I'm like, oh yeah, I got 3 socks. I'm changing them. He's like, nah, shoes. I'm like, no, I've just been in 1 pair of shoes. What do you mean you have 6 pairs? So I promptly changed into my backup shoes, which I actually wasn't even going to touch. Okay. And that helped. That definitely helped. Just how they create heat spots in different areas and give your feet a break in different places. Definitely good learning curve.
Did you consider stealing your support crew shoes, like your friend's shoes or your dad's shoes, just for a lap?
Well, they had Crocs, Birks, and hiking boots. So I was pretty limited.
Okay. Right. That is a bit challenging, isn't it? They could have done better than their support crew. Because that's the thing, like it's often when you get into the hurt locker, it's not so much about do I want to keep doing this? It's actually, can I lift my legs anymore? Like can I keep moving? So obviously blisters, that's painful, that's sore. but you can move through that. But could you lift your legs? How were you actually going as you got deeper and deeper into this?
Yeah, so I think I was quite nervous going into Naseby because I thought it'd be a lot flatter, but actually the course was just fantastic. Like there was a lot of up and down, there was a lot of variation in the terrain, which, because your hip flexors can get quite tight if you're just running flat, like dead flat. And having those uphills, having the down, you stretch out a lot. And that was really, really good. Because and again, it kind of goes with the highs and the lows. So when you're in a low, you're feeling it a lot more. You're tight. You're just it sucks. But then you'll get a high, and I'd sprint after Jack again. This is at 230 Ks, and I'm sprinting after him because I've just stopped to do something, and then he's gone. And I'm like, where's this energy? Like, what's this?
Good. It's awesome. Because I did hear from another couple of people that they come across you and asking me which event you were doing. Like, oh my gosh, you're doing the 200 miler. You were running that, moving that well.
Yeah, people would ask me because I'd be running with Jack, and they're going, they'd say to me, "Oh, you're just jumping in for a lap." I'm like, nah.
It's quite a while now.
Yeah, no, I've been out here a while.
No, that's good. So Jack, you and Jack, did you know Jack beforehand, or did you partner with him, or did you sort of just come and go, or how did that go?
No, I didn't know him before. That's the awesome thing with kind of like the trail running communities is when you find like the same pace as someone, you kind of just hang on to them and have some really cool chats. And and I think we ran like over 200 Ks together, and it just makes it so much more fun. And then because the way Naseby is, the different race distances start at different times. So on the Friday after we'd been running for 2 days, the milers started. And it was awesome. Like this whole wave, I think there must have been 50 of them or more, and this whole wave of new people, and we're so happy because it's just new faces.
I love you, Jack. I'm going to go and talk to some other people. I've been dancing together for quite a while now.
Yeah. Because, there were only 20 by that time. I think there were only 20 of us on course. So you can imagine like how it gets. But everyone's so cool.
Yeah. That's fantastic. What did you do for food and nutrition? Talk us through that.
Yeah, for food. So for hydration, I'd always put Tailwind. Tailwind was just so key. Like it just straight in the water, and having all that water, I think I had 32 liters, and that's all Tailwind, which was really awesome. And then also I think what I would do is I'd have every 4 laps I'd have a main meal, but within those 4 laps I'd be having like crafty Weka bars were just wicked, absolutely rate them, and just other small little nibbles to lead up to those bigger meals.
And what were your meals? What were you doing for meals?
I had some dehydration like meals. I had some pasta, but I spilt some hand sanitizer in it, so it didn't taste like too good. But I had some noodles. It was, and some oats. So kind of trying to do it like a breakfast, lunch, dinner, essentially.
Yeah, good stuff. No, that's awesome. And what did you learn? What would you look to do differently or better next time in your next ultra adventure run that you turn up for, based on this experience?
Definitely more shoes.
In
desperate need of more shoes.
So we're looking for a shoe sponsor out there. If we've got any shoe sponsors,
we are. That was a very key learning. I think people, when we were talking about it, people running ahead of us were going, they spun around and they're like, "What do you mean you've only got one pair?" So
I've got these Crocs. If they were lend them to me, you're not going to lend them to me.
I know. So that was a bit embarrassing, but showed I was a bit of a rookie. But that was definitely key. And I think another learning was just have just a variety of food. Like Lottie said to me at one point, I was like, "What do I eat?" Like I'm not feeling, you feel a bit nauseous after you've been smashing back lollies and stuff. And I was like, "What do I eat?" And she's like, "Just eat whatever you crave." Yes. And that was just key. Like just having a huge variety of food. Sticking to your essentials like crafty Weka bars and Tailwind, but then also having like a variety of stuff that you can just be like, yep, I just want potatoes or waffles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Waffles. Yeah. Good. Yeah, and it is about variety, isn't it? Because you're just not sure what you're actually going to want, and you just get sick of that same thing all the time. So yeah, that's cool. And you did have a big smorgasbord laid out, pretty much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What about other support crews? Did you sort of share some food, or how did that go? Because that helps a bit of variety.
Yeah. My friend Ben, he was right next to us, and unfortunately I didn't bump into him that much, but he had a good buffet going on. So yeah, I was kind of envious.
I feel like it wouldn't be a bad thing. Like he wouldn't really upset. I'm sure once you get 200 Ks into it, I'm sure everything's you're just all in it together.
For sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm just putting this up, and we put this up so every sort of podcast that we do on the Community Connect podcast, how toasted were you from 1 being burnt toast through to 9 being just slightly toasted? We could do 0.5s in this as well, or 0.5 to be very, very burnt in bits. Where would you say you were in 322 Ks?
I think straight after the race, straight after the race, I was probably about a 5.
Is that all? Okay.
But then as the days went by, I just got worse and worse, and then I ended up at a 1.
So it took you a while to land. You're still sort of up there. I'm still a bit on a high here, but so you're not completely broken. You're still able to Forrest Gump and just jog on by the sounds of things. You're just in a rhythm.
Yeah, I think that was. I had someone come up to me and she's like, "You can want to do another lap," and I'm like, "No, no, I don't."
Yeah,
but I think
you could have if you had to.
Yeah, I think that kind of made me start thinking. Even at then, I'm like, oh, what's next, sort of thing. But pretty cool event.
Good. What number are you now? Like you didn't want to do that squat earlier for us. You said you've been down to a 1. Are you back up to a 2, or what would you say you are right now?
Well, I'd say I'm probably about like a 2.5.
Yes, it's going to take a little bit to pick up again, isn't it?
Yeah. Blisters are definitely still there, but walking today, so that's positive.
Yeah, good. How did it feel to actually finish? How did it feel to cross that finish line, knowing that I do not need to run? I can sit down now. I can relax.
Yeah, it was actually really surreal. Like we were saying, we were doing that last lap, and it didn't feel real. Like you'd been doing that lap for the last 56 hours.
Yeah,
and you're seeing like the last of things, like the last part of the lake, the last uphill, the last like stretch that you just hated, and it just didn't feel real crossing that line. Almost like it felt so proud, but then also like no more. Like, what is this?
It's so good because you're just so in tune. That's what you do. That's what it's 2 days and 8 hours. Like that's a long time to be sort of going around that one lap the whole time and managing yourself through that. That's so good. And in terms of the finish line vibe, what was going on there? Because everyone's pretty spread out, so it's not like we're finishing at this one time. So what happened once you finished?
Yeah, I love it. It's so awesome. Like it's so low key. So you'll cross the line and it'll just be your support crew. And I crossed the line with Jack, and it was just, our 2 support crews. And it was just really awesome. Like really cool to have them, that we'd done it together. And really cool to have them there.